All right, squad. So we got a pretty big update in the whole Lil Durk case, and so basically they have a witness, right? They got a witness that has agreed to come to the stand. This is a star witness. I don't know who this person is because what the feds do is they hide who the person is in the paperwork until it's time for him to take the stand. You see what I'm saying? So they have a star witness who they don't say the name of, but apparently they've caught this star witness lying. Right now, that could be good news for Lil Durk because if the witness is kind of lying, it's almost like they trying to pull a Lil Woody. You know what I'm saying? Like Lil Woody was the star witness, but Lil Woody got on that stand and spent them. You feel me? And really the reason why Young Thug got let off for real. If Woody would have got on there and said the truth, like what really happened and shit like that, and he wasn't really playing both sides, Young Thug might have got fried. So that might be what this witness is doing. I don't know who the witness is. There's a lot of speculation, but let's just go through what happened. You feel me? So PW1, I don't know if that means private witness or person, police witness. I don't know what that means, but I know it means some witness, number one, first claimed that there was no bounty, that he did not commit the murder for money. He did it under duress. Then magically he changed his story. They realized what he's saying was cap, probably why the SSI removed allegation that Didi actually paid the bounty. Okay, so this is the full piece of the actual paperwork from the Lil Durk case in the feds for murder for hire. So let's read it together. All right. If that doubt eliminated discovery existed, the government would certainly have cited to it in its opposition. Yet it does not. Indeed, nowhere does the discovery set forth anything resembling a fixed or coherent theory of the time, place, and circumstances of the bounty, allegations, or at the direction of allegations. On the contrary, the discovery reveals government witnesses who are constantly changing their stories. PW1, for example, has asserted that there was no bounty at all, that he did not agree to murder TB for monetary gain, and that he did so under duress. But as under duress basically mean like you feel pressure, like somebody making you kind of do it. You know what I'm saying? Like pressuring you to do it, like pushing you to do it, but not necessarily paying you. You feel me? But as one might expect for in a murder for hire prosecution predicated on the existence of a bounty, he rises to meet the occasion. In one government proffer agreement, in one government proffer session, PW1 recounts how Mr. Wilson allegedly stayed behind in Los Angeles after the other participants flew out in order to collect the bounty money for distribution. PW1's story is, however, flatly contradicted by the objective evidence. The government's realization that PW1 lied here is likely why, between the first superseding indictment and the second superseding indictment, it deleted language alleging that Mr. Wilson paid out the bounty after SR's homicide. When the government witnesses are constantly changing their story about crucial facts, as the discovery catalogs here, Mr. Banks' defense must take aim at a moving target that is fundamentally unfair, right? So I'm not sure exactly what this is or what they're talking about, but the gist of this paperwork is basically saying that a lot of their star witnesses are changing very key stories. It's not like they missing a few details. They changing the whole fucking story. You know what I mean? Now, a lot of people are saying, and we'll go to it. So a lot of people are saying stuff like this. Wait, hold on. So a lot of people are saying stuff like this. Lil Durk coming home, everybody that counted him out, gonna be looking stupid, and y'all can see all the comments in here. Woody woody whoop. I hope so. We need revenge for Bezu immediately. Like, just ignorant ass goofies. I mean, as long as shooters don't snitch on Lil Durk, surely Smirk comes home, right? Delete my iCloud, most definitely coming home. They don't have any real evidence on Durk for real. All the evidence they tried to say wasn't true. Bro Associates is cooked. These are the people who don't understand how the feds work, right? And I'm just be honest with you. I'm not going to say it like he definitely getting out or he definitely going to jail, but I'm going to put it to you like this. Put it like this in the J-Main voice. All the feds need to do is prove that Lil Durk knew about it, okay? Because the thing that the feds know for sure, is that they got the shooters. They got the people who was involved in actually going to LA and killing Lil Pav. They have that right. I haven't seen any questions about that evidence as far as the flights go, as far as the text messages, the group chats, and all that type of shit. That's all they need to really have, right? If they can, in any way, they said they have group chat messages. I think the trial started in like January, so we're gonna be seeing. But they said they got group chat messages. They say they got phone records. There was some rumors about wiretap. I don't know how true that is. But if they have certain evidence that is proving that Lil Durk knew about these murders, he's cooked. FBI, open up! I'm going to tell you why he's cooked. Because Lil Durk is not being charged with a murder. Lil Durk is being charged for helping to orchestrate a murder, right? You can get life in prison just for picking a nigga up from a murder scene. You feel me? Do your homework. If your homie go kill somebody, you ain't even gotta be there. You ain't even gotta know what's going on. If you pull past him after he just killed somebody, and you pick that man up and take him somewhere, you can go to jail for that. If there is a wanted murderer out and about in real life, and you're letting that man stay in your house, you can go to jail for that. You feel me? So this is the feds, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got it.
This is the FBI. If this was the LAPD, if this was the Atlanta PD, if this was Chicago PD, if this was the motherfucking Boy Scouts, y'all wouldn't be hearing nothing from me. I'd be like, oh yeah, he probably gonna get out. Y'all need to stop jumping the gun on Lil Durk is going to get out. I understand that he a lot of y'all favorite rapper. But if you think that them niggas went to LA and killed that man, that little boy, Lil Pab, you think they went to LA and killed him and Lil Durk had nothing to do with it? It's something wrong with you. If you think Lil Durk did not know what they was about to go do, it's something wrong with you. Don't quote me, but I'm almost positive that if you know about somebody who is going to go kill somebody else and you do not share that with the law enforcement, I'm pretty sure they can implicate you in that murder. They don't need Lil Durk evidence. They don't need the evidence to say that he pulled the trigger. They don't even need the evidence to say that he sent them. All they need the evidence to say is that he knew about the murder. If he knew about the murder, he is involved with the murder. And this is another piece of paperwork. Text thread in which Mr. Banks told OTF members that he was going to pipe it up. Here the government cherry picks one comment from a long group text thread allegedly between Mr. Banks and multiple other people discussing a variety of topics. In this piece of evidence, were admitted, the defense would invoke Federal Rule of Evidence 106, the rule of completeness, to argue that the rest of the text thread should also be admitted to provide context. Okay? So the Federal R. Evid 106, where a party introduces all or part of a statement, that don't matter. The conversation in its entirety includes a portion where the thread members discuss a phone call that seemingly diffused tension with a rival. One portion of the conversation about a basketball game, and one portion where a member writes, just for today, choose guidance over misguidance and choose humility over pride. To which others respond, peace and blessings. Specifically a text where Mr. Banks allegedly says, I'm finna pipe it up. It's later clarified in another text where he says, that's all. Letting y'all know I'm finna speak up. If the government believes these texts to be party admissions, then another text clarifying the meaning of Mr. Banks' alleged words should dispel any belief that I'm finna pipe it up meant anything other than speak up. Additionally, the inclusion of the greater messages, the relevance and proposed message in now, and it should be excluded. The messages fail to satisfy the requirements of Rule 404B and are I don't even know what the fuck that word is. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't go to college. Intertwined with any part of this case. So I'm pretty sure that this is the defense. This is Lil Durk defense, and they're trying to get rid of this whole group chat that the feds brung into. I personally think the feds are not letting us know everything. I think that there's a completely different piece of paperwork that can only be shared between the case and Lil Durk and the defendants and all that shit. And that can't be shared to the public. because the only evidence that the feds have talked about is group chats and shit like that, right? Some Instagram DMs, a few snitches, stuff like that. And that's real cool. That's nice. But the feds aren't. I don't look at the FBI. I don't look at the feds and think like they'll arrest you over some shit you said in a text message. You know what I mean? He got locked up last year, 2024. I'm pretty sure Lil Pab died in like 2022. So for the last 2 years, the feds have been investigating this case. And me personally, I just don't think, whether they have evidence or not. See, this is the one thing about the feds that I do know. They're going to do what they want to do, right? And if they feel like, if they have certain evidence that for some reason can't be admissible in court or whatever the case is, if they have evidence of you being involved in a murder, you're fucking toast. They don't need to they don't need to have a great court case and a great this and a great that and this, that, and third. I feel like in the feds, everything could go wrong for the feds and you'll still end up with 10 years. You feel me? That's what the thing I look at the difference between the feds and the police. Everything went wrong for the prosecutors in Young Thug case and he got out. Well, he didn't really get out, but he got out on probation and shit. And they still trying to send his ass up the road. You know what I'm saying? I think more charges. I don't know exactly. Let's see what exactly he's charged with. All right, so this is the official United States Attorney's Office, Central District of California. This is the entire like the official website shit, right? And so a Grammy Award-winning Chicago rapper has been charged in a superseding federal grand jury indictment alleging he conspired with others to murder a rival rapper, resulting in the shooting death of the rival's relative that occurred at a gas station near the Beverly Center shopping mall in Los Angeles. Terrible place to kill somebody, by the way. The 4-count superseding indictment returned Thursday adds Banks as the lead defendant to a previous indictment returned October 17th and charging the following defendants in connection with the August 22 murder. So they're charging Kevon Grant, which is Vonnie. They're charging DeAndre Wilson, which is Didi. They're charging. You ever had one of them days where everything seems to go wrong? I mean, you're just trying to grab a cup of coffee and BAM! You're tangled in a pile of boxes because the shelf was broken. And just like that, I realized sometimes accidents at work are more than just funny stories. They can actually change everything. Trying to handle a workplace injury on your own? It's like trying to fix the broken shelf yourself. More chaos, more headaches, and there's no guarantee that you'll get what you deserve. You got paperwork, insurance calls, and someone always telling you to wait. It's enough to make you wish you had a secret weapon. But here's the thing, there's a team of people that fights for people just like you. For over 35 years, Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, has been winning cases when everybody else said it couldn't be done. In Florida, someone got $12 million after a work accident, even though the insurance was ready to offer just $350,000. In Pennsylvania, a worker was awarded $26 million, which was 40 times the initial offer. These are not just numbers. They're real victories for real people, all thanks to the team that fights hard for justice. More than 1,000 attorneys across all 50 states, like a legal squad ready to jump into action. Yeah. They've recovered over $25 billion for clients. And they have a long history of helping workers get what they're owed. Because when you're injured at work, you shouldn't have to go at it alone. You can just click the link below or the QR code that's on your screen. No endless waits or confusing forms. Just a quick way to start protecting your rights today. So if you had an accident on the job, do not risk doing it alone. You can check out Morgan & Morgan, because even in the toughest workplace accidents, a strong team makes all the difference. And trust me, there's a reason why they're America's largest injury law firm. It's because they fight for the people just like you. Keith Jones, which is Flocka, David Lindsay, which is Brown Eyes, and Asa Houston, which is Boogie, okay? So Bank was arrested on October 17th near Miami International Airport after law enforcement learned that Banks had been booked on multiple international flights. All 6 defendants, none of whom have yet entered a plea to the charges, are expected to be arraigned. So this is when it first happened. This is November 2024. So it's been about a little bit over a year since he's been locked up and stuff like that. So basically, from what it looks like, they're charging him with conspiracy and a few other things. Let's see exactly what the charges are. All right, so it says here, Durk Banks, I guess I missed it. Third Banks, 32, aka Lil Durk, Blood, and I guess that's his Muslim name, is charged with 1 count of conspiracy, 1 count of use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire, resulting in death, and 1 count of using, carrying, and discharging firearms in a machine gun and possession of such firearms in furtherance of a crime of violence resulting in death. So if you look at the charges, none of those have anything to do with actual murder. They're not saying that he killed anybody. They say that he's being charged with 1 count of conspiracy. Do you know what conspiracy is? All you have to do is fucking talk about it. If you and your friend go on FaceTime and the feds are recording your FaceTime and you talk about how you would kill somebody, that can be conspiracy, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you plan on it, if you talk about it a little bit, if you kind of planned it a little bit, you can be charged with conspiracy, okay? He's also being charged with 1 count of use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire, resulting in death. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know the terms of this charge, but I think this, from me reading it, and I ain't never been in the feds or in jail for no motherfucking murder, so I don't know that much, okay? I'm just letting you know what's going through my head. When I hear 1 count of use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death, it sounds like he fucked just off that because they use OTF credit cards. And he's the owner of fucking OTF. So it's like, you know, it's if you own a club and somebody dies in your club, you might have to shut your club down, even though you ain't had nothing to do with the person dying. You know what I mean? You might be in legal trouble and you might even get sued, or a lot of shit could happen just because you own a club that somebody got killed in. Or somebody can find some drugs at your house. They could not be your drugs, but it's your house. You getting charged with it. I think this is the most dangerous charge for him. And then it says 1 count of using, carrying, and discharging firearms and a machine gun and possession of such firearms in furtherance of crime of violence resulting in death. I think that's dangerous too, because again, simply off the only evidence that I know about, and they definitely use OTF credit cards to fly out there and book the rental and do all that shit. It's like, how is Lil Durk going to prove to the courts that he had no knowledge of this murder if they're using his cards? If he's on camera telling them, hey, don't have my name and none of that shit. Saying to somebody, don't have my name and some of that shit and none of that shit implies that you know what's about to happen and you don't want to be involved in it because you don't want to get locked up for it. But if you know, that could be all that the feds need to actually lock you up for the murder for hire. So that's kind of my take on it. Like, do I think this is a win? A small win for Lil Durk in his case? Yeah. I mean, at this point, you gotta kind of like pat yourself on the back for any type of little small battle that you win with the feds. You gotta be happy for that shit, you know? I just don't think, realistically, I just don't think it's looking as good as people trying to make it look good. And I know people is fans of Lil Durk and they want to see. Me personally, I don't give no fuck about being a fan. I care about what's right. Okay? And if you killed this nigga who didn't do nothing to you, if you was trying to kill Quando Rondo who didn't do nothing to you, all Quando Rondo did was get his ass whooped. Took a few punches. You hear me? If y'all was trying to kill Lil Tim, that makes sense to me. If y'all was looking for Lil Tim, that makes sense to me. It's stupid, but I understand the thought process behind it. You going all the way to LA to try to kill Quando Rondo, who again didn't do shit but get punched on. And then you missed, Quando Rondo didn't have a drop of blood out of his body come out. You shot and killed Lil Pab, his cousin. I want you to go to jail. If you didn't do it, I want you to be free. I want you to go home, and I want you to be happy and enjoy your family. If you did do it, I want your pussy ass to go to jail. That's just what it is, bro. I don't care about being a fan of no nigga or none of that. I don't care nothing about that. But as you keep reading down here, it says, according to the superseding indictment in 2010, Lil Durk formed an organization called OTF, which, among other things, produced and sold hip-hop music from artists primarily from the Chicago area. OTF has acted as an association, in fact, of individuals who engaged in violence, including murder and assault, at Banks' direction and to maintain their status in OTF. These little small things that they're including in this article is very telling. So they said that they've said that he started OTF, right? And they said that everybody, amongst other things, they produce hip hop music. OTF also acted as an association of individuals who engaged in violence. So when you as OTF, when your name is OTF and you hang out and you claim OTF and you got 5, 10, 15, 20 other of your guys around, and out of this 20, 15 of them then went to jail for murder, attempt murder, shooting a nigga, having a gun, whatever the case is, that's already looking bad. And the feds didn't say nothing about a RICO or racketeering in this indictment. And I feel like they can throw that in there at any time. Banks feuded with a victim identified in court documents as TB. The feud stemmed from a November 6, 2020 murder in which the associate of TB shot and killed an OTF rapper named Davon Bennett, aka King Von. Bennett and Banks were close friends. In response to Bennett's murder, Banks allegedly put a bounty on TB's life. On August 19, 2022, several LTF members and associates used 2 vehicles and worked in tandem to track, stalk, and attempt the murder of TB for hours, culminating in a shooting at a gasoline station located near the Beverly Center shopping mall. Again, stupid place to kill somebody. The co-conspirators used multiple guns, including a machine gun, that fired at least 18 rounds at TB's vehicle, striking and killing a victim identified in the courtroom as SR, who was TB's family member. So TB must be Quando Rondo, and SR is Lil Pab. Banks allegedly ordered TB's murder, and the hitman used money from Banks and OTF-related finances to carry out the hit. Right there, he's toast. If you ask me, right there, you fucking toast, bro. You're toast. If you ask me, right at that very moment, he knew it was he knew it was bad. You know what I'm saying? Banks told the OTF associates booking the flights, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me. Don't book no flights in no name involved with me." You wouldn't tell somebody to not book a flight under your name if you thought that they were going to do regular old business. If you thought they was going to LA to do a meeting about you and your next album, you wouldn't tell them to not do it in your name. You would only tell somebody, don't book no flights under no names involved with me. You would only say that to somebody who you know is about to go do something illegal and you don't want yourself involved with it. So this is where the problem is. Now, when he said that same day, the motherfuckers who think Lil Durk is not toast or he's definitely getting out haven't read this shit. The same day that the hitman traveled from Chicago to California, Banks also traveled to California in a private jet with another conspirator, Kevon Grant, aka Cuz and Bonnie. Later that day, Grant allegedly purchased ski masks for the shooters to use to commit the murder and paid using a credit card in Banks' name for the other co-conspirators' hotel room. Mr. Banks is charged with orchestrating a cold-blooded murder that resulted in the death of a rival's family member, said United States Attorney Martin Estrada. Not only that, the shooting occurred in the open at a gas station and a very busy intersection, endangering many others in the area. Violent gun crime in this sort of devastating to our community, and we will have zero tolerance for those who perpetuate such callous acts of violence. The apprehension of Mr. Banks as he attempted to leave the United States is once again proof that the FBI and our extraordinary partners at the LAPD have a long reach. No excuse can justify this violent act, and let me be clear, while you're going about your life thinking you're going to get away with it, The FBI is piecing together the facts that will serve as your undoing. So the fact that they have nobody's talking to everybody who's talking about, oh yeah, Durk good, yeah, he gonna be out. They don't know about these facts. They don't know about the facts that he went. See, I didn't know he went to LA the same day on a private jet. I didn't know that, but that's facts. I didn't know that. So that means he was in LA the same day that they killed the motherfucker, and the same day that they killed him, you told him not to book no flights under your name. Then you traveled with Vonnie, who went and purchased some ski masks and used your credit card to purchase a hotel room. It's gonna be hard to convince a jury in a courtroom at the feds that you had no idea that they was going to kill Buddy. You're not about to tell me that it was just a coincidence that you went to LA in a jet, they went to LA on some planes, folks went and bought some ski masks, bought some guns, rented a car, all this shit, and you had no idea what was going on. All while Quando Rondo just so happened to be in LA at the same time. Cut it out, bro. And then, when you knew the feds was coming, you tried to get the fuck up out of here. Innocent people don't do that. People who had nothing to do with no murder, they don't do that. People who have no idea about a murder, don't do that. You know what I mean? If the feds come knocking at your door about a murder, and you know damn well you didn't do it, you probably not booking 3-4 international flights. You probably not trying to leave the country because there's no reason to leave the country. You gotta understand, bro. They caught this nigga at the fucking airport trying to get on a private jet to leave the country and go to. He had like 4-5 flights booked. That sound like a nigga who knew what was going on, right? Like I said, the case supposed to go on in January, and we're going to find out a lot of facts. This is just like the newest update right now, but it's not looking, if you ask me, it ain't looking good.